So, tech startups, Asians, and a lot of money. What is the story going on behind there? I'd like to know, and so do you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Relax Radio, and you are currently tuned in to The Buzz.
That's
There
right,
it is.
everyone. That's right, everyone. So, a good happy Friday, by the way. I hope everyone's having a good Friday. How's your Friday going so far, Jamie?
My Friday is all sun, shine, and wonderful vibes over here. Absolutely wonderful. Temperatures soaring, and I just can't wait to go and enjoy some of that summer sun.
Awesome. I'm just thinking now, when it comes to Fridays, everyone's obviously excited for drinks on Friday, but that's you got.
Well, on Friday for today, I think I'm gonna take a nice chillax, relax day today. I might choose to go out into the town. Who knows? Maybe I might go to the gym for a little bit, get a nice good pump in. But hey, this Friday holds whatever for me. So
yeah, and coming into the topic now with my doing, me as well, right? I'm not too going out and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Come to a point, right? Where the hangovers are a little off.
yeah.
You don't want to tolerate it, right? But so coming back to the conversation, we're talking about tech. We're talking about how the Asian countries or the Asians are basically investing a ton into startups and tech startups. We have this big concern about. We have this big conversation going around globally as to how China for one is looking at the whole world in terms of exports, in terms of logistics, and we just went through a couple of conversations about Didi and how TikTok are very big examples of how they can instantly turn over a whole software, tech. In terms of strength or know-how, getting information, getting data, and even talking about even influencing different markets, right?
Yeah.
So now when we talk about this, this is another strategy because the UK is looking at bringing in a lot of the UK is looking at bringing in a lot of money because of tech startups. Selling companies, IPOs, and basically the government is encouraging a ton of IPOs, right? So with that, when it comes to the approach of how UK is dealing with the money, is it always from Asia that we should encourage this, or what's it take? Do you think they should encourage it only from Asia, or is the money coming only from Asia? That's a question I think everyone can. In consideration.
I feel as though when it comes down to money, we do know that in Asia, specifically China and Japan, they have a lot of wealth that is maybe not stockpiled, but is pretty much filtered through the country. That we know that they have loads and loads of money. We know that they are very wealthy countries because, as you can see, they're very highly developed. They have a lot of buildings, they have a lot of technology that pretty much upholds the system of their country, and a lot of things flow through the country in order to be able to make it, make the city move. So seeing this right now, it doesn't shock me in terms of the amount of money involved, especially when it comes down to technology. Because if there's one thing I know about Japan and China is that they're very big on technology and they're very big on having loads of companies that can fund that, as well as being able to provide funding for technology companies. So I will admit, though, it does seem a bit strange as to why it is over the past 5 years, investors from China have rushed to buy a new wave of UK tech startups. Whilst the Japanese are the largest Asian investors in the UK tech firms largely, and that's thanks to SoftBank's funds, their share has steadily been declining in the face of Chinese investors. So it's quite odd to me why it is that there's so much purchases being made, so much investments being made from China in terms of, money going towards a tech startup. What is it that they could have planned? As we've already mentioned quite a few times on the show, for those of you that have been listening to us for let's say the past week or so, or maybe even longer, you'll know that me and Tim also seem to feel that China is a place in which you don't know what goes on behind the scenes. They're very secretive, so we don't know why they could be buying so many tech companies or investing in so many tech companies over the past 5 years. So,
Like, yeah, like when you say, they're buying up a ton, at the end of the day, regardless of which company, it could be your company, it could be any company when it comes to how much actually whoever has a bigger say in what's happening. And,
yeah,
that's a big factor. It's a big factor that comes into play. So, just like owning shares in a company, if they have a significant amount or majority, they have most of the say in where business goes. For example, we spoke about the VR company that basically allows, let's say, undergrad doctors to practice their operational skills. But for something like this, let's say if it comes to understanding where and what companies can actually help anyone operate. If whoever has the majority,
whoever has the majority amount of money to be
shares or controlling it, they can do whatever they want with this. So just like that. Let's say, for example, if Asia, or I don't mean just China, I mean Asia or whoever, that might be a bit of a concern in terms of who's actually buying these shares, like who's actually why, and what's the long term goal. People come into agreement as to what the long term goal is, and existence. Yeah. Or is it that the Asians have a little extra money and they just don't really agree on what's happening, where to exactly dump their money or invest their money.
Yeah, where they want to place all that investment into.
So there's 577 UK startups that have Asian backing, and the Department of Digital Culture, Media, Sports Digital Economy Council, these guys are basically online retailers that Farfetch, like Farfetch and Checkout.com, that have loaded Kazoo arrival. Now, over the past 5 years, for instance, investors from China have rushed to grab a new wave of UK startups. And while the Japanese are, large, let's say, the Japanese are pretty much the largest Asian investors in the UK tech firms, right? Basically, in complementary to, SoftBank's funds. Now, their share has steadily declined in the face of the Chinese investors, but regardless, this is pretty much why we're going after the whole Asian market.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So also looking into the whole case of why they're buying so many startups, it says that there's been a number of billionaires and millionaires in China, and that have been growing rapidly. We quote every single time we speak about people wanting to invest money, or hearing large prices of certain things, like, for example, the cost of the seats in Jeff Bezos's rocket, which was auctioned for about $27 million. And then we're also hearing it's going to cost about two. It was an 18-year-old.
Yeah, 18. Like I was surprised as well. The guy, I think he's a biologist or a physics
a biologist, and he managed to rack up $27 million to achieve that seat. See, this is what I'm. See, this is what I mean. You say money talks.
Money does talk, man.
Money does. It talks a lot. It says a lot of stuff, and it speaks in many different languages. It speaks in many different languages. One thing I will add on to that was the fact that, as you've seen before, we've seen that millionaires and billionaires are coming from almost wherever now. Like they are just popping up out of nowhere. Like people that are able to afford a $27 million seat, as we've just discussed, an 18-year-old has managed to pay for this seat.
Not the
Then we've
fight, by
also
the way. It's just, let's say, got three layers in space, right? Let's say, for example, after 50 miles or something of that sort off
yeah,
the ground of Earth, right? That's when
yeah,
you actually start entering space. And this was this video I was watching this yesterday as well. So you have the stratosphere, you have multiple layers, right? And it's after, let's say, if it's the third layer, that is space, that is like pitch darkness, if not for Earth,
yeah,
and so on and so forth, right? But so Richard Branson's flight basically goes on for about, let's say, the whole flight is just an hour and 15 minutes.
yeah.
While, so that point of where you lose gravity, I think that part is about half an hour long. But Jeff
Okay.
Bezos' Blue Origin, it goes
Yeah.
straight up, and it's that pod that basically, so it's a whole connected rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little off topic, but then the whole rocket comes with you, and then
Yeah.
the water detaches, it lands by itself back on Earth, while the pod with people on top, that top space, that atmosphere, it goes a couple of miles higher than Virgin Galactic, but that
Yeah.
lasts for only 11 minutes.
11 minutes. Wow. That
And
sounds
that's
really
just for 11 minutes, basically. And I don't know, it's just one way of looking at it, but yeah.
I mean, 11 minutes of time spent looking at the Earth from the distance of, say, the moon is, an experience enough, because you don't really get to see, no one gets to do something like that on a regular basis anyway. You don't see something like that happen every day. We don't even see astronauts flying up into space on a regular basis every day. That literally happens maybe once or twice in a possible month, in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
See,
if you talk about the ISS, that's the International Space Station.
yeah,
So that is also that space is also a consideration as to where people are looking at, expanding tickets, or if I say, if I'm saying things like, for people to not just go experience zero gravity and come back, for people to also
yeah,
visit the International Space Station. So, those tickets are going to be in the millions for sure, because, you need to consider so much of, I'd say, costs and, logistics in
yeah,
that scenario. Right? But yeah, it's super, I mean, it's an industry that people are investing billions into. And
yeah.
just for example, he's just been pumping, billions and billions in just the last 3 years. So it's not cheap at all, but it's the beginning of, it's basically just the base of something really long term.
Yeah, exactly. And as you can see, it's soon it may pay dividends in the future. As we can see, millionaires are literally just coming up out of the mud every single day. Like millionaires are growing every single day. Money is just becoming a lot more easier to get hold of somehow nowadays, and people are just becoming a lot smarter. The generation that we are currently living in, the generation that is growing up and advancing quicker. The same way they're able to achieve that type of money to be able to pay for whatever. 250K going towards the waiting list of 700 people that want to also fly into space. As we can see, millionaires are just rising up out of nowhere every single day, every single month, every single year. So looking into touching back on the article, talking about how
Back to this, I mean, we kind of went to space there with the conversation, but
we went to space and came back, man.
so like we were talking about, money. The reason we came to this because you were talking about the money, and I said that the person that spent 27 million was
Yeah.
28 million was actually an 18-year-old. That's why we deviated. But then, yeah, to basically talk about, like you were saying, the billions that China is investing is growing
Yeah.
rapidly, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you're tuned in, make sure you ask us questions. Make sure you comment on this video as well. We've got a lot more in terms of where Singapore, Hong Kong, the UAE, and Middle East are actually investing their money in, with respect to this topic. So if you're keen, just make sure you send us a message. You can call us up on the number below. It's 07852 473 473. You can also comment on this video. Like we always say, just be a part of the show. But coming back, we'll be talking about where these countries are actually putting their money. Stay tuned right here. You're with Tim and Kings on the Buzz. Good afternoon.